Hey everybody, Steve here in the Illinois store, in my office. Here's something you're not going to see again. This is a late 50s Rogers kit, and it is in purple diamond pearl. And that is in fact a color. It was never in the color line, and it was not something that was around for very long, and we expect it was an experimental project, and it was discontinued. But very, very few examples surface, and they are in fact purple diamond pearl. This is a 9x13, a 16x16, a 14x20, and a 5x14 snare. You can tell from looking at this that it's in immaculate shape, and it is absolutely incredible. And this floor tom, by the way, is a perfect color match. In my office, there's not enough lighting on the left side here to light that floor tom properly. You can see these brackets. There are 3 brackets that I've got little splash symbols on right now. That's because those brackets served a purpose. You could convert that floor tom to a cocktail kit. On some of these sets, the snare drum that you see right there would have had a collet on it, just like you see on that tom right there. And that snare drum would be mounted off that collet that you see right there, hanging off. This would have been used for another tom arm to mount the rack tom. What you could do then, if you wanted to, when you had a cocktail gig, you could take that 16x16 out. You could take one of those arms, attach it into one of these knobby brackets, and hang the snare drum off it. Take the other arm, that would have been here generally, hang it off this bracket, put that 13-inch tom on it, and on this bracket back here, you could take and put a cymbal up there. And you'd have a reversible pedal that would allow you to play that floor tom from underneath. So you'd have a snare drum, you'd have the 13-inch tom, you'd have the 16-inch floor tom that you could play on from the top or play it under from the bottom as a little cocktail kit. This set is amazing and absolutely dead mint perfect. I had sold it once, and I just recently bought it back, and I am thrilled to have it back. So truly an exceptional piece that will be on display in the Illinois shop here and at our museum. And oh, by the way, before I forget, this is the early Rogers, late 50s, so the logos are different. That very, very large Rogers logo, and that little device right up there is a proper tone control that was being used at the time. So you've got that bass drum has that large logo on it. The floor tom has the large logo. The rack tom used the smaller logo, which they used ongoing later on. That big logo would have looked a little strange on that tom. And these are the small version B&B lugs, bread and butter lugs we call them. And you can see these have the proper, if you're not familiar with it, the hoops were called tall boy hoops. They were very high profile hoops. And you can see that is in place on the toms as well. So there you have it. Rogers, late 50s, purple diamond pearl, 5x14, 9x13, 16x16, 14x20 bass drum, and that 16x16 with the basically the cocktail kit conversion brackets, all factory. Okay, so now let's talk about this kit a little bit more. We talked about that cocktail kit setup, and this shows Rogers drums from that era when they had knobby brackets and tom holders suspending everything so that there were fewer stands to use. This was their idea of a more portable kit at the time. So, if you take a look at that, take it one step further, here's a picture of one of those kits, and it also then shows how the cocktail kit conversion was taken as a part of that. You can see it over there on the right-hand side. That was using the drums that are part of the set, and then you could also get that same cocktail kit configuration as a set in and of itself. You could order that, but you could also do it from the exact full kit itself. So here's the kit as we showed you, and as you look through, again, we said purple diamond pearl, a very, very rare and a very short run on a finish. It is absolutely original. All 4 drums match perfectly. The lighting in my office wasn't strong enough to get that floor tom lit properly, so it looks darker, but it isn't. They're all exactly the same. And we'll start to get you into pictures where you can start to see a little bit of those brackets on the floor tom. So there's one of them where you could hang one of the drums from. And then you look and see that there's other brackets here. You could hang another drum from there. And then the bracket behind is one you could hang the cymbal off of. And you can see the concept for it here in the catalog picture. So, and again, here's another one of the brackets. You can see everything there. It's a very, very interesting concept. And of course, there would have been a reversible bass drum beater pedal underneath, as you can see in the image here, so that you could play that floor tom underneath, use the top of that floor tom for a tom, use the 13 hanging off there, the snare hanging off there, and use everything but your bass drum for a small club gig on a cocktail kit. So hope you enjoyed this. It's a rare piece. You'll see it in the Maxwell Drum Shop in Illinois in the museum room. Thanks, everybody.